So if you've never heard of the Flextel Tiny 2X pump, then you've probably been living under a rock. This is one of the most popular pumps you can get on the market, and the smallest and lightest pretty much, combined with a lantern. However, there is now a competitor out that could blow this thing out of the water. Now this is a new pump from Peaks Motion. Now this has not come out yet, it's going to be on Indiegogo, so this is a pre-production model. It'll be available in 3 colours, I think it's white, orange and blue. In my hand, yeah, it looks small, but how small is it? The Flextel Tiny 2X pump, which is a tiny pump, it is about 50% the volume in size of this pump. Now anyone can make a small pump, but are the specs any good? So let's do a side-by-side comparison. The Flextel Tiny 2X pump weighs 100 grams. This weighs 64 grams, so this is 50% heavier. This has 180 litres per minute of inflation power. This has 400 litres per minute of inflation power. The lantern on this goes up to 230 lumens. The lantern on this goes up to 300 lumens. They both have a magnetic base and a hook to hang them up with. So pound for pound, this one annihilates the Flextel. But time will tell as to how good this thing is in long-term usage, hours with the light on, and also how long that battery and the power will last. The battery is a 1500 milliamp hour on here, and it's a 1600 milliamp hour on here, so it's a bigger battery on the Flextel, but obviously the motor in here is more powerful. I'm going to get a mat that I brought, and I will pump one up with this, and then I'll pump it up with this, and I'll show you the time difference between the two. Annoyingly, I'm out on a hammock camp tonight, and it's a hammock where I don't need a sleep pad. I've had to bring one just so I can do this comparison. Things I do for YouTube. Right, for fairness, I'm doing it with the Flextel first, and I will deflate it with the Flextel as well so that it completely sucks all of the air out of it, and it is as flat as it currently is, just so that they are inflated from the same point with no extra air in it. Let's get my stopwatch on. There we go. Okay, we'll call that 1 minute, if you can see it, which is pretty much what it was when I did the comparison of this pump against the Max Pump 3. And the Max Pump 3, I believe, is 400 litres per minute as well, which is the same apparently as the tiny little one that I've got in my pocket. So I'm going to deflate this now, and I'll bring you back when I get the other pump out. Apologies, it's starting to get rapidly dark, so I might put my headphones on while I'm doing this. Okay, so I have deflated that, and I've also sucked the air out using the pump. And then I'll do the same thing with the tiny little Peaks Motion. See how that comes out. Okay, now that is a long, wide, thick mat. It's 10 centimetres deep, 192 long I think it is, 60 wide. That, if you can see it, 36 seconds. It actually inflated it just a bit before that. So when I used the tiny pump, or the Max Pump 3, it did it in like 22 seconds. So this doesn't seem to be as quick, but it's not the same conditions. It's a different mat as well. This is a bigger mat than the tiny pump did. Sorry, the Max Pump 3. So it lives up to its claim. It is more powerful than the Flextel for sure. Now what it's like on longevity, I don't know. So I'm going to use this tonight using the lamp as a lantern throughout the night, see how long it lasts. But just to show you what it's like as a light, that's its lowest level, next level, and then 300 lumens. So yeah, it's bright enough, isn't it? Now another plus to this tiny little pump is this comes in at the moment. If you're one of the early backers on Indiegogo, you can get this for $19. Now that is phenomenally cheap. I think the Tiny Pump X2 is about £40, £32 I think it is. Can't remember It will go up in price once those first ones have gone, but if you're one of the first backers on it, you can get it for $19. I think it then goes up to $20 odd after that. So you can get an early bird deal on it still. I will put a link in the description below because it should be out by the time this video comes out. But I honestly recommend this thing. It's pretty good. I'll let you know what I think of it in the morning. So staying along the lines of Flextail gear, the next one up is this that Flextail have sent me out. This is called the Flextail Tiny Speaker. It's a Bluetooth speaker and the sound quality is really, really good. It comes in a like a wrap lanyard, so you can have it hanging on my bag walking up here. I can't remember the weight, I will put it on the screen, but the sound quality is fantastic. I'll just do a very short snippet of music so I don't get a copyright against me. But let's see what you think of the sound. Now I don't know what it sounds like coming through the microphone, but it's a really, really decent quality sound. If you want a bit of music, bit of tunes on your camping and your hiking, recommend this. Right, decided I'm going to show you the rest of the gear in the morning. It is simply too dark to show you something decent. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. Right, so the next little part I was going to show you is just sort of a handy all-round tool that you can just keep on you and stick it in your pocket. Basically, it's a multi-tool, but it's a bit different from most multi-tools that you see advertised. This is called the Sharpal. It is a 10-in-1. If I can try and remember all 10 things that it does, I'll show you up close. So this is the Sharpal. It weighs pretty much nothing. You know, it's very easy and light to carry around. It's got a little hole there for a lanyard that you can attach. On the top here you've got two blades for sharpening. So one is a ferro rod type steel, and then there is a ceramic one there as well for fine sharpening, so you can really get a nice fine cut on any knives that you use. You've also then got this part here that pulls out, which is the ferro rod, and then you strike it against that section there. I won't show you it now. I'll show you what I did last night with it when I lit my little my stove. You can buy it with either one or two of those. You get a spare. This is £10, and it's £11 I think with a spare ferro rod. On the top here you've got an emergency whistle, which is pretty loud, and that's blowing it very lightly. So yeah, you've got a really loud emergency whistle. That's just the grip for it. And on here you have another little tool for sharpening knives. So if you have a serrated knife, then you use this to get in the little grooves of the knife, and you go along it, and it sharpens up a serrated knife as well, because obviously you can't run a serrated knife through these, so you use that to sharpen them up. Yeah, pretty cool little piece of kit. Handy to keep on you. Now, a lot of you may have seen my homemade aluminium table that I have for hammock camping. So essentially it is an extendable pole that sticks into the ground, and then a nut where I have a little thread screw that goes on top of it and just sits at whatever height I need it beside my hammock, so I can sit in the hammock and I can cook, or I can just lay in the hammock and have a beer sitting on it, so chill out. But Fire Maple have sent me this one. So this is one that they did themselves. I'm not saying they copied me, coincidental. Comes in a really nice pack. Obviously you don't have to have it in this pack, it adds to the weight. But basically you have a better engineered tabletop than mine. This is a really thick, absolutely solid thing. Mine is a fairly thin. I think mine's 3mm aluminium. I don't know what this is made of. It looks like aluminium, but it's certainly thicker and stronger than mine. It's not quite as big. Mine's sort of A4 sheet sized, but you've got all these holes so you can hook and hang things in it as well. While you're, so if you've got something on your table, you can hang a light on there, or a mug if you've got it on a carabiner or whatever. And then in here, there's a little zipped pouch. And instead of a extending leg like I've got. This has a screw-in leg section, so you just screw these together. They're all the same, so it doesn't matter which way around you go with them. And then it screws into the top. And there you go, little table that you can just push into the ground, stick your drink on, or your stove. It's pretty solid. So the Peaks Motion pump. Obviously I compared it last night to the Flextail in pumping up the mat, and it was quicker. It's obviously smaller, it's lighter, the statistics are better on it. But I had this hanging up last night, either side, that and the Flextail, with that little shelter, and it lasted all night long. And in fact, I went to bed, fell asleep, and left Gez there with it still going. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with this. Obviously, long-term wise, it needs to be tested to see the longevity of the battery, as in how many times it recharges and charges without, going wrong, rather than the actual length of the battery time while you're using it. So, but on initial thoughts and initial views on it, this seems really, really good. As with everything I show on my channel, I will put a link in the description below should you want to buy it. So they are affiliate links, doesn't cost you any more, but I may earn a bit of commission from it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, as always, hit the thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.